This 2010 Honda Civic is getting ready to get new headliner. I don't know how well this camera does all these stars justice. It's like a suede. I want to say it's suede. I don't know if it's real suede or just an imitation of suede. Y'all tell me. It brushes back like suede. So yeah, this is the mock-up. I'm mocking it up. Haven't put glue on it yet. Just seeing how it's gonna wrap, how much I'm gonna overlap, where I need to crease, where I need to cut. You have a crease there. You have a crease there. You have creases here for your handles. And you have obviously your center light. This is the back. And then here's where we have all this excess that we need to cut. So we'll cut the excess. We'll lay the adhesive on it. And the adhesive we're using, before I've used the 90 high strength heavy duty adhesive from 3M. Used that before, like it. But they were out of it this time. So I went with this Gorilla heavy duty spray adhesive. Never used it before, new. But whatever, I've used Gorilla for other things. And we're gonna give it a shot. Now, for anybody attempting to do this, I wanted to make a quick video kind of explaining what the process is. I can't do it under camera because I have nobody here to hold the camera for me while I like to record me while I do it, and I gotta obviously hold the phone with one hand, and I don't want to be applying all this one-handed. But you're gonna take the adhesive spray over there, the Gorilla I just showed you, and you're gonna spray the whole board down, the bottom of the board, right? You're gonna spray all that down, and obviously you want it to all be clean. I brushed it all clean, right? Some of the stuff was like stained into it. Don't worry about that too much. In a perfect world, there's a white padding too that they sell that you put underneath it. I've done it before without the padding, and I've done it with the padding. The padding makes it a little better. The glue doesn't show as much, but if you're not too thick with the glue, you really don't need the padding. The padding does make it nicer though. I just didn't have it in the budget this time. And when you buy the padding, you need more glue because you need to glue the padding down to the board. And then you need to put glue on top of the padding and then glue the material on top of the padding. So it requires more glue also. And plus the cost of the padding. And we're counting pennies around here right now. So we were barely able to afford to get the material, the main material, and the glue. And I've done it this way before and had it look nice. So we'll still do the best job we can without the padding. But the main thing is to lay the adhesive down and let it dry. Give it like, and what I mean by let it dry is give it like 10 minutes. Because you don't want to apply this, especially without padding, while the adhesive is still wet. And you want your hands to be clean. So you spray. I like to go across, and then I come in and do the corners. And then I like to have somebody else to help me roll this out. And because I don't have somebody to help me roll this out, it's gonna be a little harder, but whatever. I've done it by myself before, I'll do it again. I gotta cut the excess off the end, And then I'll spray one half and apply that half. And I'm rolling it onto from this way, that way to whatever I sprayed onto. I like to roll from this way, that way because I'm taking care of these creases here for the sun visors and for the center dome light. And this is what you're gonna see the most, it's the front. It's what is the driver and front passenger are gonna look at the most, and I don't want no mistakes in the front. So I'm gonna lay it on here carefully and then ease it back. And then I'll only have glue about halfway, and then I'll fold that back over, and then I'll put the glue on the other half, and then I'll roll it over, and I'll do it in sections like that instead of just gluing the whole thing. If I had another person here, a helper, I could lay the glue all down in one shot and then have the helper grab one side and I grab the other side and gently even it out on top of it and gently lay it down and spread it out. But I don't have a helper, so I'm gonna do it in sections little by little. But this gives you an idea of the path that we're headed in and the procedure that I'm gonna follow. So if anybody has to do this completely alone, like I am about to, that's how you would do it. Look at those stars. I got a special brush that I'll brush this with once it's installed to get all the hands off of it. But yeah, it's gonna look pretty sweet. And then the car is obviously gonna go get painted. It's got a different bumper from the junkyard and it just needs paint all the way around. But the interior will be nicely done. So this excess, I'm gonna cut off. And I'm gonna measure and see what I got enough to do. Now, if I got enough, I would like to do this piece. You see how this piece, the kid was sitting in the back seat, in his child seat, and kicked through the chair and knocked that out. And you can see he blew the little rivets out. So I tried to put it back the best I could, but some of the rivets are just popped out. This is gonna have to get glued because I don't even know where to get those rivets from. But I got some strong glue that'll glue that. Anyways, I was thinking instead of having this look like this and trying to clean it, and that one's dirty too, if there's enough excess, and I think there is, take a piece, cut that off and then cut it in half and take a piece to wrap over that. Obviously through just this center piece, not this outer part, and run it through the inside, obviously, to where when you look at this, you don't see all this dirtiness here and this, and you see this material instead. Now I wouldn't completely take that out. I would leave that and put this material over that material and then reinstall it under here. So it would be over it. I just got to see what I can do with these rivets. I got to figure that out. And then if it's enough, then it'll have it on the back of both of the seats. So when you're sitting in the back seat of this car and you're like, and keep this seat covered up with this dirty shirt. When you're sitting in the back seat of this car and you're looking up at this new headliner and you're like, wow, that's so nice and suede and stars, right? And you get in the blue car with a nice blue paint job and it has the nice blue headliner, and then you look in the seats, in the back of the front seats, and they have the same stars on the back part. Now these seats don't have pockets in the back to store stuff in. They're just decorative, just to look at that gray. So why not have the same blue from the headliner. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do with those headliners, with the excess from the headliner. And then I was even thinking about possibly getting a little extra piece to wrap this. So you'll be sitting in this back seat and you'll look up and you'll see all the stars, and you'll look at the back of the seat and you'll see the stars, and you'll look at the armrest and you'll see the stars, the same material as the roof. So the backseat passenger will get a real nice view. I was gonna keep going with it and do it on the center armrest, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get ahead of myself. I don't wanna get too crazy. I think it gets too busy, it's too much. And this gets grabbed a lot to open and close the door. Gets touched a lot, and that suede would fade and not look good over time. You would see all the grubby little hands getting in and out, grabbing it all the time. It would look nasty. It wouldn't take long to get dirty. The armrest, you really don't grab it too much. You do rest your arm on it, but look how bad that is. We got to cover that up. Somebody got hungry and was chewing on it there, and then the armrest is obviously. So yeah, that'll come off. And then the back of the seats, nobody really touches that. I mean, knees rub against it if somebody's really tall, but that's about it. But yeah, this will come off. And I'll wrap the material under there and wrap it real nice. And then that'll be covered up with the stars, the back of the seat with the stars. Leave the doors alone, just the headliner. And that'll be it. That'll be the interior. Then obviously it needs paint ever so badly. But when this car, the original paint, if you look in the door jambs, let's see if this will focus. It's a nice blue. It's a nice blue. So that is the color code B536P4, and that is the color code that we're gonna get, the exact same color that this car was originally, this blue right here, just that it won't be burnt from the sun like that. And the interior will have the stars on the headliner, on the armrest, and on the back portion of these seats. And that'll just be that extra little touch of nice. Eventually it'll get some rims and it'll look like a totally different car. So anyways, I need to start laying down this glue. I need to cut this material. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera person in the budget to follow me around with a camera while I do this. But at least this video gives a verbal explanation what's going to be done, and more importantly than that, it documents the process of what's being done here for the future owner of the car to be able to watch and say, oh, this is the explanation and these are the different videos of what he did. So it creates a little bit of a history on the process of the remake process, the remake or whatever you want to call it, restoration process of this little 2010 Honda Civic and its little stars, fancy headliner, back of the seats, an armrest, and paint job that it's about to get. So there'll be, what this I think is part 4, part 5, part 6. We might go all the way to part 10 with it, you know, who knows. But the final video will be the car painted, interior done, everything done. So stay tuned, and we'll keep making these videos. Have a good one. Peace.